Hello, welcome to CarCast. I'm Matt, the moderator, DeAndrio, here with Bill Goldberg. He's back.
Biggest news of the day is that Wanda got both the new babies on the bottle.
Good. Just to be
That's my
clear, they're not your actual babies.
that's my life. No, they're not. They're four-legged or pawed, whatever they are.
Yeah, for pod.
Back to reality.
Back on the ranch, back to the grind, back to the day-to-day stuff. We were talking a minute ago about someone was asking, going from a performance in the ring to going back on the ranch. Will you miss the ring? It's like, no, this is like if you've been listening to the podcast, this is what you've been working toward and building for
But
years.
everybody works for their entire life is to be at, in your twilight and being able to take advantage of what you've worked so hard for. That's all. And I mean, I don't know. I
I
guess
mean,
it's a
we
it's a
spent
valid question. But no, man, you work so hard for what you have at home when you're not having to work. And so when asked the question, was it hard for me to leave the farm and go to the wrestling ring in front of millions of people and then come back to the farm? No, it's the opposite. So I mean,
yeah.
you've worked hard for the right thing, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And look, for those that have been tuning in, been listening, there was 4 years of us checking in on just the garage you were building. Like that
Oh,
was that was the goal. Like it was to, get out of California, get the property you always wanted and Wanda wanted in Texas, have the land, build the garage. I mean, you had a cool place here, but there was a limitation to what you can do on that garage because that wasn't really like planned. It was like part of
yeah.
like a model or something. It was like the demo house, and then there was another, so it worked out well for when you had it, but it wasn't the ultimate goal.
No,
And
it's not. When you have to piece together what someone has already built and make sense of it, then it's not truly the wonderful feeling that you get once you erect something from nothing
yeah,
and actually build what you want. So, yeah, yeah, it's cool, man. It's good to be back. Now,
yeah.
had a great week last week. Everybody thinks it was the match. It was because I got a D170 Elephant in a crate in the mail.
The Helmet Engine in the mail. Um,
It's all priorities, man. It's all priorities. But I had a good time and could it have been better? 100%, always. But I'm proud I'm proud. It was fun, man. It was fun. It was
I thought,
people
listen,
out my friends.
I, it, wa- I thought it was a great match. By the way, it was like 14 minutes. Like that's a long match. Like it was a good show. And I imagine like
All I hear is
physically
people complaining
taxing.
about me complaining, and not many have reached the fact that it was the second longest match I ever did in my life at 58 years old. Now, I could not have done it without Gunther. That kid is freaking unbelievable. I mean, it was a wonderful opportunity to be in the ring with him, and an honor. And I couldn't have done it without him. You're always your limitations are yourself and your dance partner,
Yeah.
and he made it happen. So it was awesome, man. I had a good time. There was the famous part is when he chopped me and I started laughing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Explain that. What happened there?
I,
I thought it
I
was funny. I thought it was good.
I didn't do, people would look at it as a rib or me, not acknowledging his move, but I got to say it was one of the most immediate reactions that I've ever had that I didn't cover up because I actually, first and foremost, it didn't hurt as much as I thought it was going to hurt because you always assume that things are going to hurt worse.
Yeah.
Secondly, and most importantly, I was having fun.
You're having fun.
I
I
was having
thought I thought it sold better. People were like, "Oh, Goldberg didn't sell it." Like he got slapped, he didn't sell it.
fuck
I go,
you.
and
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you talking about? It was way better that way. I thought it was funnier that way. I thought it created something that was like a little different. Like, why does
I'm
it have to
Goldberg.
be the
I'm
same?"
sorry, but I don't care how big you are. If you chop me in the fucking chest, it ain't gonna fucking hurt me. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So I mean, it's a great move in the wrestling world, but Goldberg's gonna shrug it off, man. That's all. So, I mean, it was within the realm of believability character wise, but I just have to say that, I mean, it was only a reaction because for some reason, was having a really good time. And that's all. And I was just so surprised and it was a reaction. It's just weird. It
I
was
thought it played out fine. I laughed. I thought it was entertaining. And because, being a fan of WWE and watching hundreds and hundreds of matches since I was a kid, eh, and yeah, they always try to like push the limits on the main event matches and people are flying through the air and backflips and tables and chairs and all that stuff. But there is some predictability to it, right? Like there's only so many moves that you can do. And you could bring in some fun stuff, some gimmick stuff, some Steve Austin stuff, ATVs and cars being driven in and all that stuff. But
70 spells.
yeah, I saw the Chevelle and I was like, oh, you got that locally because that's not a Dodge.
Oh, I texted Kinescus and I'm like, man, I'm sorry, dude. I'm driving a muscle car on the show tonight, but they only had a short period of time and they couldn't and didn't know for some reason that I'm a Dodge guy. I mean, how
Yeah.
could you not freaking know that, first and foremost? And secondly, I get it, man. I mean, all they had to do was rent a Challenger. That's all they had to do, or rent a Charger,
Yeah.
from the airport or whatever. But it was cool, man. They threw a little twist on it, and I had to make do with what I had in front of me, and I didn't want to blow the guy's car up. And we had a couple runs at it beforehand, but it wasn't what I wanted, but it was good enough for
I,
TV.
I, I being the car guy side of it, it looked great on TV, but I was like, oh, you wanted to get a little bit more slide
A
with
lot
that
of it
car.
more slide, but I dropped it to second gear, and I mean, it didn't. It was the 454. It wasn't an original motor in it, but it was a dog. I
Yeah.
mean, comparatively, I mean, let's be honest. You know what I drive all the time, and it's instant horsepower. And today's technology allows you to fry the tires, with the snap of your toe. These things, obviously, you have to. First of all, it had drum brakes. And it was just I had to get in and out of the car, and I had to familiarize myself with. It was an automatic. Drifting a 70 Chevelle that's not yours in at the, you know, on the
Yeah.
snap of a finger. It was different, but I think it was cool. It was as good
I
as
thought
I
it was
could.
cool. Yeah. I thought it was good. I thought it was good. Anyway, I thought the match was great. I agree with you. I thought Gunther did a good job. I think he played the role that he needed to play, the opponent he needed to play, and he did it with a level of respect, knowing that, this was your retirement match. That was sort of the pitch here. That's what you've been talking about. And I think he played it well. So I thought that went down well.
Gunther stayed 30 minutes to an hour afterwards, after I was talking to all my friends in the, the we had a room in the back, and
Yeah.
uh that kid's got class. I mean, he's got a lot of class. I can't say enough good things about him, and hopefully his future is filled with nothing but awesome stuff. So it was truly, it couldn't have been done without him.
But that's nice to hear because you get put into these sort of these situations like this type of match going, all right, we're going to do your match. You sign your contract. You don't know who you're going to wrestle yet. You don't really know what the plan is. You get a certain amount of time to train, to prep. And it's nice to be able to work with somebody and meet somebody and go and say what you're saying. Go, this guy nailed it. Like he was great. He
Oh,
was professional. He was friendly. He was sweet to the crowd, to behind the scenes, like you're saying, to the friends, to the family, to
so
everybody. Like that.
respectful. The dude was awesome. I mean, I
And
couldn't have asked for a better dance partner. I mean, no question. And in times, a better leader throughout the match. I'm rusty, man. I haven't been there in a long time. I'm far from a ring general, so uh, it served its purpose, and I couldn't have done it without him for sure.
so we watched it. They cut to commercial at the end, if I remember that correctly. They came back
There were
and
three commercials during my match.
yeah, yeah, they did. And then they came back and you were let's let's say you were giving a speech, you're doing a thank you, and on broadcast they had to cut it. And I get it because I'm like, all right, it's a limited time. It's not like a pay-per-view thing or even on WWE Network. There's whatever on NBC or something. There's something after it. Which was interesting to me, which I didn't get, was so after that, I went on to social media and waited for WWE to post it on their social accounts, like on X. And they posted the same exact version on broadcast TV that was cut off. I was like, isn't the point of social media to get a little bit more info to like show the whole thing? I think that part was just poorly planned. I don't think it was a conspiracy, somebody at the top going, it's done, it's over. Just like let's just cut this thing. I just think maybe
But
some
it might as well have been a conspiracy because you had 6 months to plan for it.
yeah, just somebody on the social side was just like, here's the clip we were given. I was like, where's the rest of it? Why
But
not put it out there?
also, I knew to an extent that was going to happen because they were silently pushing the social side of it because obviously you keep people with a cliffhanger on national television and then say that the rest of the speech will be listed on social media and it's going to drive traffic if people care about what it is. And so I knew it at some point, but I thought at 2 minutes it was going to go to that. And it
But
didn't when
but I didn't see it on social media. And I mean,
it was
maybe it's
somewhere.
gone up since then. But like whatever, the next I'm guessing like 24 hours after the match, I saw the truncated version, the broadcast version. I didn't
But
see the full version.
that's bullshit. So I mean,
Yeah.
just
Anyway, it's
I'll get into it more in about a week.
okay. But like I thought, listen, you prepped for it, everything from that we've been talking about, the stem cell therapy, getting rehabbing the shoulder, getting back into the gym, eating 50,000 eggs, like just doing everything you needed to
I went
do.
over it. It was 2,400 eggs in that period of time, like a 5 month period of time. But yeah, I mean, I sacrificed my life for 6 months to try to put out the best product humanly possible, taking every single thing into consideration. And obviously, what you do in a time like that is you put a bunch of dice in your hand and you freaking shake it up and then you roll it out and you hope that the combination works.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't have cheese coming out of my pants, where my butt is. I mean, I could have looked a lot better. I felt pretty good, uh, with my sequence of strategically played moves along the way. And so, I mean, I'm more than satisfied with holding my head up high after what happened, uh, even losing. But I think at 58 years old, I did myself a pretty decent justice. I wasn't embarrassed about anything I did, except for there was a punch that I missed. And I hit him on the shoulder, and he sold it. So other than that, I try to be a perfectionist in everything that I do. And yeah, there were a lot of times where it could have been better, but I can hold my head up high, I believe.
I think you should. I thought it was well done. I thought you look great. Listen, you look great out there. There's we've seen athletes in many sports come back and they probably shouldn't have.
That was one of my motivating factors.
We've seen
It's not
quite a few.
anybody else. It's the image you have and the expectation and level of preparedness you always like to seek, right? That makes part of your legacy. People expect it, right? They don't expect me to show up a big fat ass.
Yeah.
But it's tough. I mean, working around injuries, and I could not have done it without BioAccelerator. There's absolutely no way in hell
Yeah.
this is an ad. This is the truth, man. I mean, there's no way I could have done that. So I learned a lot of things along the way, learned about myself, and I got to spend the night with some people that I love very much, man, and that I haven't seen in a very long time, and it was cool.
And I know you had some friends, and obviously family, but friends out there that may not have had the chance to see you wrestle live that you
It
guys
was funny,
bring
man.
out there. Yeah.
It was funny.
Fortunately, I was able to, I didn't, couldn't go to this match, but did see you wrestle live. We saw you
Yeah,
in
it
Vegas.
was
It was fun.
it was funny, man. As I was talking to the room of all my friends and family, I looked around and it's like we're all alphas, right? In anything and everything that we do, there were fighters in there. There were football, NFL football players. There were comedians. There were rappers. There were, you
Race
know,
car drivers.
race car drivers. There were freaking, I mean, there was everybody in there. And each one of them are very good friends of mine. And each one of them are right here at what they do. Every one of them. They're all leaders. And it was all inspiring. It was really cool. It was really neat, man. There were, like I said, there were parts that were better than others, but I mean, as far as the things that we could control, it turned out to be really good, man.
Yeah. I, I, I'm glad you're happy with it. I think you should be happy with it. I thought it went down well. It was fun to see Gage for a second up there as well. You
Oh,
know,
I'll tell you some behind this. Well, like I said, I'll come out in about a week and I'm going to tell everything. But all I can say is that kid is freaking high test, man. He's my son. There's no question because when we were rehearsing him jumping over that barrier,
yeah,
all the security guys, there's like 10 of them, and they don't know Gage.
yeah.
Um, and I mean, that's Goldberg, so whatever. They have no idea about me and they don't know who he is. And so the first time they rehearsed it, Gage was over that barrier before one of them had even gotten through the barrier, through the door to
Yeah.
get. I'm like, time out. Guys, in real time, I'm telling you, when you see him get up out of the chair, you already need to be over there because he's going to get to Gunther so quickly, something's got to happen. And that's why you saw them on him like freaking stink on shit live because they took me seriously and they manhandled Gage through that barrier. It was all up against the barrier. It was awesome.
Well, because the other part of it is like they don't know how much force he's coming with. So when they do this thing, we're
Absolutely
like,
not.
oh, we got to hold him back. They don't know. Does that mean we're leaning on him to 20% effort or 80% effort? I go, if you want to sell it, you're going to have to lean on him hard.
Hard because he's coming. I mean, I can tell him to slow down. He won't slow down.
There
Um,
was there was quite a bit of chatter online about Gage. He's got a fan base for sure, and it was good to see him there. You know, when Tammy and I saw him in Vegas with you wrestle, he was still a kid.
well, he's not anymore.
He's not anymore. You know, he's a big boy. But yeah, there was some positive, fun, exciting chatter about him online. All right, so now that it's done, here's the other thing that you were talking about is having this opportunity to go back and do this retirement match also opened up opportunities to, like you were saying, like the bioaccelerator, the stem cell therapy stuff. Maybe it would have been something you would have done without the match, but I think the match put some, I don't know, just yeah, just
Yeah.
made it more important, gave it a deadline, gave it a more measurable result. Had you done it, you're like, yeah, I think it's feeling better. You're going to put some weight on it, but you had a goal in mind. Walking out of that ring now, a couple weeks later, I know you've been doing a bunch of interviews and stuff from home. You feel good?
I've done one interview.
One interview, okay.
Won't do anymore. I'm not right now.
Well, you
Not
got your
until
own podcast right here.
exactly. This is the second one I've done, basically, information leak. And I've said more than I said on aerials. But again, I'll direct people. I'm going to go on my YouTube page and I'm just going to kind of clear the air because you hear differing opinions about differing things, and I'm gonna speak the truth, my mind. But where was I with
But you
that?
feel good. You like
Oh
physically
yeah,
feel
yeah.
good at the end. You
Other than, I
thought
mean,
all the prep.
you can't really tell, but I broke my hand at some point in that match, and I think today's the first day I can see veins back in my hand. It's not nearly as swollen as it was. That and shoulder didn't hurt,
Good.
neck didn't hurt,
Good.
my knee isn't worse.
Yeah.
Um,
Right, because that was the part of that was a big part of the storyline there.
100%. I mean, hey, I got a bad knee. He'd be stupid not to go after it, right? But the fact is that it's not any worse, and it didn't swell much after the match. And there's a famous picture of me finally breaking my diet. I had a Budweiser in one hand and a Wendy's Frosty in the other.
I don't know about those together, but
Oh, it was awesome, man. It was freaking awesome. And I mean, I couldn't sleep till like 3:30, and then we woke up and then we flew back home, and then I'm near my refrigerator, man, and all shit broke loose, dude. I ate a whole pizza the first day. I don't know. I ate everything. And yeah, it was my stomach did not like it whatsoever. So it's a transition. I put my body through a very rigorous detail routine for 5 months, and
yeah.
now I'm not going to go back diet wise, but
I was gonna say,
intermittent.
what's the plan moving forward? Like I mean, you've always kept in pretty good shape, and I know you like to train.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
here to stay. I'm here to stay. Along the way, I got used to my arm back, right? And it's never going to be 100%, but I've been able to build it up and do things that I couldn't throw the baseball for Gage for 4 years when we were here, when we first moved here, right? Now I can throw it a freaking mile again. And I'm not going back. It's a lot of hard work. And then the food thing also, the diet, it's a lifestyle. It's not
mhm.
a, it's a lifestyle that I've seen the other side of now. And I'm going to morph the two diets together, one is a diet and the other is a lifestyle. But I'm going to reward myself as often as possible, but still keep in mind that, I work really hard and I'm not going to do anything to be a detriment to that. So I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, and like we've talked about before, like it, the workouts changed over the years. The diet has to
Oh yeah,
change over the
my God.
years. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you
I can't,
can't
I can't. I
lift
was
as heavy. You can't.
okay. Okay. It'd be great. I'm going to put out some workout stuff,
Yeah,
right? And when I do, it's going to be emasculating doing a 100-pound dumbbell on an incline and then a 40-pound dumbbell, right? Because I can't go higher than 40 or probably maybe a 50-pound dumbbell on the incline bench press. So yeah, my workouts are totally different. Gage did chest last night, did 315 for set of five,
yeah,
which is pretty good for a kid.
yeah. It's
Um,
amazing.
and I used to do that, with my eyes closed, and now I can do 225 with my shoulder. But that's a miracle, to be able to do that. So yes, my workouts have changed exponentially. The focus is completely different. The style is different. The goal is different. And my age is different. So you have to take everything into consideration, you
Yeah.
know. But I ain't going back. That's for sure. I
Okay.
stay in top shape so that I can use my arm and function as a normal human being. And it takes a lot of dedication, without that, that's my end goal, to be more functional. I don't have a match to reach for,
No,
you
but
know,
you have the rest of your life.
exactly, which is much more important. So, yeah,
Yeah.
man. It's
You don't have to compete with Gage in the gym. Kids are pliable and bendy and
oh,
resilient.
I competed with him in the gym for years because the kid is a monster. He's a monster. I think he's the second strongest linebacker they have, and there's six senior linebackers.
Okay.
He's a freshman. So I mean, they're 4 years
Yeah.
older.
I meant to ask you, what did you end up weighing? What was your fighting weight?
It's
Did you
weird
get to
because
where you wanted?
I did, but it was during my training, and I had to back off of it because I started feeling like the Michelin man walking around. I was miserable, man. It's like I had to either throw up or poop or something because I was just stuffed 24 hours a day. And I was 270 but I was feeling really bad.
Yeah.
And,
Now,
and
do you try to cut a like before you get into the ring, like a week? When do you do that? You know?
oh, I mean, I should have because I was really flat when I went out there. I looked horrible. I look better now than I did when I got in the ring. But it's a stress thing. It's a water thing. It's a food thing. It's a preparation thing. And I never had that down. Like Luger had the, I mean, he was a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to reach out to a couple of my friends and say, hey, man, if you were me, how would you treat your diet going into it? Because I tried to accomplish two things at one time, obviously, and it's not easy to do. Be as heavy as possible and as cut as possible. It's a
Yeah.
tough
It's
thing.
not
If you're not a
really.
professional, then it's a tough deal. But there are ways to do it, and you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. But look, you got there. You
Yeah,
did
I
it.
did.
I mean,
I got
270
there.
is,
It's okay. Going back to that. So yes, 3 days after my match, after eating the pizza, yeah, I was like 277 when I got home. So I reached the goal that I wanted to, but it was by doing the opposite of what I chose to do
yeah.
food wise. So
Uh,
it's give and take, you
You
know.
did, did like you're right, getting the pizza, getting the milkshakes and all that stuff. It felt like after that amount of
Oh,
time,
yeah,
5 months, it felt like your body needed
absolutely.
it. Just
No question.
funny how like you could just be eating and eating and eating and feel bloated, but your body's like, no, I actually need something other than 1,500 eggs and
I was
whatever.
eating too clean. And
Yeah.
there is a such thing as eating too clean, and everybody's body responds differently, for sure.
All right. Well, listen, great job. It was fun to see you out there. You look good. It was the friends and family look good, uh, I and I agree with you. You probably can't say enough about Gunther. How he was just the best partner in this
Yeah.
whole endeavor and making it happen, and to to WWE to having the opportunity there. But
I'm forever thankful that they gave me the opportunity to do it. Could they have followed through a little bit more on what they promised? Yes. And that's what I'll expand on, but later. But hey man, not many people get an opportunity to do what I did.
yeah,
Few people do. And not many people at 58 years old get to do a world heavyweight championship title match on live television, nationwide. So I mean, yeah, hey, I'm not sniveling. I'm just saying could have been better. Can always be better.
yeah, but that's just your standards are super high. You want to do
Absolutely.
the best show possible in all aspects. But all
No
right,
problem.
let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, so you're back. You're home. You're on the ranch. Back in the garage. Uh, you mentioned earlier Tim Kaniskis, who keeps taking over more and more over at Stellantis on the Dodge and Ram side, and for good reason. I think he's highly motivated and wants to get things going. And then I don't know if you saw this, but the most recent, I don't know, I don't want to say announcement. I don't think it's formal. It was just came up in an interview with somebody was having going SRT is back. What are we going to see? And it looks like a TRX, a Ram TRX. It could be the first product back from SRT. And that makes the most sense because you look at their Charger EV that they were going to put the 6-cylinder gas engine in and potentially can get a V8, but I don't know how long that's going to take. Do you have to do crash testing again? Like, what do you got to do to make that happen? Where the Ram seems like not a lot of effort to get the big engine in there, but also the next gen, the version of it. I don't want to say it's a completely clean sheet of paper, but it's got the whatever the RHO benefits, right? Some interior upgrades, suspension upgrades, things like that, combined tech combined with TRX powertrain. So
Yeah.
that could be the first thing. That could be the first thing back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and let's be honest. I have a Mule RHO slash TRX, and there's a
Yes.
reason for it being in existence. You
So
read into that what you want, but I mean, and in us tearing it down, Mr. Savaggio and I, mostly him, you're finding that it's more of a Frankenstein than you originally intended it to be. So,
yeah.
yes, playing around with a lot of different ideas, and I can tell you that from experience because I have one in the garage.
Right. For the build Salvaggio is working on with you guys,
715.
the 715. You still on track for that for SEMA? Yeah. I mean that's cross your fingers, right? That's every SEMA build pretty much.
Every person, but I seemingly with this schedule that I've had, I was behind the eight ball, and I haven't really been able to lend a hand in helping the the project out. So now I'm back. I'm ready to do whatever needs to be done to get that thing done.
Yeah.
And simultaneously, the Coronet showed up at Salvaggio's, and he's made it up with the chassis, and the DSR motor will be up there. The TKX is already there from Tremec, and we get Will Beatty to hook us up with probably a quad disc for that one too, since now I've put one on and taken it off 4 or 5 different times, and I know exactly how to do it. So,
Yeah, on the Cobra.
oh Jesus. Yeah, I mean it's time to kick in the car ship full force right now.
Yeah, like you said, you got a handful of the projects of the Cobras moving along. Salvaggio's working on the Coronet, but that's not supposed to go to SEMA, just the 715. So the Coronet will have to maybe be a little bit on the back burner if he's got a jam on the.
Absolutely, 1,000%. I
Yeah.
know,
So I
and
mean,
I
you're
think
getting the parts and stuff up there, but
yeah, it's got to go back to Warman after the chassis is married with the body, so that the final body work can be done too. So,
yeah, yeah, right. Because he's gonna have his hands full with Dave Salvaggio's company. He's been at it on his own for a few years now. His
doesn't get the credit he deserves. He doesn't.
Yeah, what kind of I mean, does he have a team over there? How many people has he got over there now?
I mean, I saw 10, probably 5 to 10 guys over there.
That's what I was thinking. And they're not all just working on one project, so there's some
Oh,
other.
hell no. Everybody's working on a specific project,
Yeah.
and there's 2 or 3 people running in between, helping everybody out. But yeah, it's a, it's a, it's more like a coach works place, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, there is a huge difference between that and a regular garage or a restoration garage. They're all different. Everybody's got their own style, but he's more of an artist too, so it's like Kindig, right? He gets
Yeah.
a car, whether he builds it from the ground up or whether he adds his spiel to it. It's an art form interjection into, what we all look at as just cars. So
Yeah.
they,
Dave Kindig, by the way, nice guy. I always enjoy talking with him. Every time I bump into him, like at an event someplace, I always enjoy it. He's a good guy. And he's got a good crew. So
oh hell yeah, man,
yeah.
they're eclectic, they're freaking awesome. I mean, that's the cool thing in the space right now is you got a couple different teams of people that are really freaking good, and the teams themselves are eclectic in that everybody brings some professionalism to the table that the other one doesn't have.
Yeah.
Professional aspect of their game, right? You got your interior guy, you got your fabricator, you got your mechanic, you got everything. But the he's got a good group of guys, to
He's
say the
got a
least.
good group of guys. We're a few weeks out now from Monterey Car Week, and I'm excited about this. So, Ring Brothers, obviously, guys we love, talented guys. They've been working on for a while now an Aston Martin. I think it's a DB5. They haven't. I don't think they've fully said like fully disclosed what it is. Uh, and they're trying something different.
Good for them for doing that.
They are debuting that car at the Quail at Monterey Car Week with, I don't know if it's just going to be on the lawn or they have a booth or something. And I don't even think they've ever gone to the event before. I don't think they've ever been to Monterey Car Week.
It
I
shows
don't
you
think
how
they've been
things
to,
are changing, man. It shows you
yeah.
how things are changing, and it's for the better, for the most part.
You
Um,
know, Hennessy is up
there are
there.
no
He's always
rules
good.
anymore. There just
Yeah.
aren't, you know.
I think this is great. I think having a hot rod builder debut something at the Quail along with some of the most interesting car companies because we'll see Gordon Murray have a booth there, Roof, Koenigsegg, Hennessy, uh, and some of the Singer, of course, Singer has a booth there. I and they're all building sort of production, if you will, cars.
They're niche builders too. So
Yeah, but they want to build 30 cars, 100 cars or something, 25 cars and they're 3 4 million dollars and there's a whole business plan behind it and they gotta you know for the Ring Brothers to debut a one-off build. I think this is a cool idea and I really hope it works well for them. I'm sure they're going to get tons of attention because they
oh,
always
yeah.
deserve it. But it's not like they're there. Like it's not a Hennessy booth. You don't have sales guys there. You don't go, hey, this is our Venom F5. We did a couple of coupes. We did a few roadsters. We're gonna do like a track version. And, we'd love to make a sale before we leave the Quail and get somebody's name on the books for a $4 million car.
Oh, they will.
They will, but I don't think that's the intention of the Ring Brothers. I'm certainly
Oh, but
people will come to them and say, "How do I get in line to build something? I have some creative ideas."
no question. And hats off to the Quail for opening the doors and letting them in.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I think it's
the president.
I had the discussion with Gordon McCall, who runs the Quail, basically curates the Quail, co-created it with the Peninsula Hotels. And that was just something that he really kind of was passionate about going, you've got to be able to evolve and 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 find ways to do more interesting things and I think he's doing like the largest gathering of F40s or F50s. I don't remember exactly what he said. 25 of them are all going to be at the Quail one place. He said, by the way, he said the undertaking of just coordinating that and getting all these cars to show up is huge.
If he wants 26 in both of those, tell him to call my brother.
Yeah, I was wondering if your brother was sending any of the cars over just for that reason. I don't know if he goes out to the Quail or Monterey Car Week, but he's got the cars.
He's got the 40, the 50, the
Yeah.
Enzo. Yeah, he could.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, he's got all the big ones. He's got all the big Ferraris. I know
yeah,
that.
that's not why he's in it. He's in it just to hop in one in his shorts and flip-flops and go down and get some groceries. Drive it over Independence Pass every once in a while, but he's always been a Ferrari guy. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got the right cars. He's got the right ones in the
and
collection.
it started off with the Daytona.
Yeah.
So 72, I think it is, or I don't know what it is. But yeah, he's got some pretty cool stuff. But I was seeing how a F1 was projected to garner over 23 million coming up.
Yep.
I love
Yep.
that car. It's just absolutely beautiful.
That's the coolest piece, right? Just the
Hey,
coolest
but
piece.
let's get back to American Muscle,
Yeah,
right?
American Muscle.
So I'm doing a deal with Chapman Dodge out of Scottsdale.
Okay.
I'm going to be shooting a commercial for them and a couple of ads and in trade, I got myself last week a little crate motor. And I'm learning a bit about them in that I thought it was originally the original Elephant that came out, the first Elephant that came out. They were I think they were numbered, I don't know, 1,000 of them, something like that. And then I didn't know different versions were offered.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I think mainly because I never really needed one because of DSR, and their involvement with what Goldberg's Garage does. But very long story short, we got our hands on a D170 Elephant, which I think there's four different variants.
Okay.
And this one is rated at 1,025 horsepower, little over 900 foot-pounds of torque, 995 or something like that. Something just too crazy numbers. And distinctly displayed with a yellow block, which is cool.
Yeah.
Right now, they're all back ordered. I think there's a very limited number of them going out, but I'm excited about it, man. I had to open the crate finally. I had it here for 3 days, and then I opened the crate and looked at it. I guess the coolest part is going to be number one, getting it on an engine stand and displaying it, but most importantly, figuring out what the hell I'm going to put it in.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what are you gonna put it in?
The
Don't know
beauty
yet.
is I don't know.
That's okay. You don't have to know yet. Something will come up.
That's the
You'll,
beauty.
like I said, we could end up at SEMA. You're going to be pitching the M715. We could see something else that's new, and that catches your like. That's how the M715 came up. You saw the concept that Dodge built, and you're like, can we do a version of
Oh yeah,
your own kind of
2019, and
take on
it's
it?
taken 6 years.
Yeah,
you know, but it's what it is. It's
yeah,
awesome. It's awesome.
yeah. All right, that'll be cool. That'll be interesting to see what to do.
Like you said, man, we're back on the Cobra. Got the alternator Cerakoted last week. Took it
Yep.
apart and sent it out, and then where we had got Be Cool, Fred Wicks finally hooked me up, and after a year of having my radiator, they were nice enough because they didn't have the tooling in house to get the proper tooling and replicate it. I mean, to a freaking T. The thing's beautifully done. So we got that installed. Drive shaft is next, and then putting the dash in. Actually, the the windshield frame has to be adjusted a bit. Then the dash goes in, and then freaking Katie bar the door, man, because the body's going on. So
Yeah,
we're, we're this close,
getting
this close.
there.
The only thing we're waiting for now is the drive shaft. So, and that's
Yeah.
only 7.5 inches long, so it shouldn't take too long for fabric.
I mean, I don't know if it's takes longer or not to make. It's still got to be the same pieces, but yeah, it's going to be small. At least the shipping's easy.
Yeah, it's in town, being done in town. So
Yeah,
we're done soon, man. But it's exciting to get back on it. Holly just sent us some good stuff, the ignition box and the plug wires and distributor for it, and everything's going to be top notch. Fuel log. We were starving the carburetor a little bit, so
yeah.
um, and I'm learning a lot along the way, which is fun. And yeah, doing that dash is going to be interesting with those Dakota Digital gauges, man.
The
They're
gauges
beautiful.
came great. I saw the mock-up of it, and it looks good. I know when we checked in a few weeks ago, you guys were, like you said, you were fitting the windshield frame onto it, and there was like a little bit of a gap or something, so it wasn't sitting flush. So you're gonna have to figure out some kind of adjustment there. Are you gonna
Yeah.
have to bend the frame a bit?
No, no, we're just going to burr out the holes a tiny bit so that we can adjust it, and then it's one of those things where you have to have three people here, and so I can't get it done on my own. But
Yeah,
it'll be a simple adjustment. I just need the bodies here, and that'll probably take a half hour, and then we get the dash mounted. I already trimmed everything up, and all the gauges are mounted. Just need to plug and play, man, and we need I think the only thing that we haven't tackled, we haven't picked out a handbrake yet, a handbrake system. So I know there's a number of them out there, and I'll probably replicate what we did in Wanda's Trans Am, but that car's got to have one. Vertical handbrake has to have one.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, that'll be cool. Um, all right. Well, sounds good. Welcome back again. Congrats. Great performance. You guys did a good job, and I think the fans were excited hearing the chants. It was good. You guys did a great job.
It was
Super.
fun.
You should be super proud.
Thank you very
Uh,
much, man. I appreciate that greatly.
All right, we're gonna wrap things up. Yeah, we're gonna get into it more. I know you've back in it shooting some videos. You got editing videos. You said you got workout stuff during the last 6 months if you were training. You got some more thoughts on the whole WWE outcome, but it's all good. Looking forward to it.
We got a cool partnership with Patriot Tactical, man.
Look at
Preeminent,
that.
outdoor kind of military gear stuff, and yeah, man, I'm gonna start having some fun, man. I can't wait. It's awesome, awesome.
All right. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody for listening. Until next time, keep the air in the spare and the bag in the wheel.